Because you know what? Buyer beware, especially when it comes to online sales of designer handbags. And David Goldstein, Vice President of Marketing and Business Development for Easy Sale Incorporated, is here with some tips to protect us from being cheated by designer scams. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Paige.
I want to know, how often does this happen? We are now becoming, savvy internet shoppers, and
Right.
we're getting a lot of our products online.
That's right.
How often are we getting scammed, particularly in the designer handbags?
Paige, I saw a study just last week that said that over 50% of the designer handbags that are being passed off as authentic online are actually fake.
50%.
Over 50%. That's
Because
right.
we think we're getting this great deal.
That's right.
We think we're spending $40 on a $300 handbag, and because it's used, we're getting this great deal.
Right.
But really, sometimes they're not.
Now, you can get a great deal
Yeah.
on a used handbag, but you have to know what you're buying. I mean, the marketplaces like eBay are trying to police this and trying to make sure that they only sell genuine articles. But because there's millions of items out there, they really have to leave it up to the knowledgeable buyers to report the unreputable sellers. And that's the problem. A lot of buyers don't know what they're looking for.
Well, I'd imagine it really would be very difficult to regulate because there are so many people that are out there.
That's right.
So even with a website like eBay with best intentions, it's hard to do. Well, let's take a look. I want to see
how you do.
how savvy I am with some of these
Okay.
designers. Okay, we've got a Louis Vuitton. We've got either one of these is the fake and one of them is the real.
That's right.
All right, so I'm going to take a look at this. And just by a quick peek, I'm going to guess that this is the real.
That is the real. Very good. Now, how could you tell?
Right. I have no idea. It just kind of looked, I don't know, more
Well, and
real.
also you touched it. And one of the problems with online shopping is that you can't touch and feel it.
Right.
The feel of the material is often a giveaway, but of course you can't tell that from a photograph. So you have to know what else to look for.
Right, because you can tell. This is a heavier, it feels like
It's
a
more
higher
supple.
quality.
Yep, that's right.
All right, now we've got the real and the fake.
And these are Louis
of
Vuitton
another Louis
white
Vuitton.
multicolori is the
All
pattern.
right, this is going to be a little tougher. I'm going to guess this is the real and that's
No,
the fake.
this one is the fake, actually. And this was a little bit harder to tell because this is actually a pretty good fake. There are a lot of details you can look at, like the quality of the workmanship, the number of colors. This bag actually has 33 separate colors on it, where the cheaper bags won't go to that extent.
All right, so just paying attention to how many colors are on this bag.
And
But
knowing what should be there.
And that
That's
is really hard to look at when you're looking at a little picture online.
That's right. A good seller will show you photographs of the details that'll let you know what you're buying is genuine.
All right, now we're dealing with Coach.
This
And
is
we've got fake and we've got real
That's
here.
right.
I'm going to go with this being the real deal.
That one's actually the fake.
Oh,
This one
shoot.
is the real here. But you got 1 out of 3. That's not bad.
That just goes to show. I mean, this is not my thing. Obviously, I'm not the designer of handbag. But you also have some stills
Right.
that give us that close-up look that we really need to see. Let's take a look
Sure.
at a couple of these stills that show us the fake.
The devil is really in the details on this. One of the things you look for is quality workmanship. These are a fake and a real lock. And you can see the real lock is machined. It's solid brass. It's got a barrel in it. The fake lock looks cheap. It's plated. It's got a little simple spring catch.
right.
And on the next one, we can see that
got straps here, right?
So this is quality of workmanship.
And
if you
that
look,
seems really obvious.
yeah, it is obvious, but those are real big close-ups. If you look closely at the hidden areas of the bag, you can see, uneven stitching and unfinished edges. Those are sure signs of a fake.
And again, if a person is selling the real deal, then they will likely give you that
They will
close-up
usually
shot.
show you those
That'll
shots
help.
that will let you know.
All right,
and
then
then
the tag.
last, and this takes a little bit of knowledge, but you have to look at the logos and you can compare the fonts that are used, the authentic ones on the bottom, the fake ones on the top, and you can see there's quite a difference.
That's great. But you have a business yourself called Easy
Easy
Sale.
Sale, right.
How does Easy Sale help consumers sell their products and also pay attention to these frauds that may be going on?
So Easy Sale makes eBay selling easy. Basically, we either pick your items up or you can drop them off at our stores. We handle the whole selling process for you, and you get a check. For designer bags, we know how to authenticate them and show that online so that the buyer knows what they're getting is genuine and the seller gets more money as a result.
Great. Oh, and you also have some tips on your website as
Yes,
well
on
to help. Go ahead.
Yeah, easysale.net.
All right.
On our homepage, there is a link to tips on how to not get scammed when shopping online for designer bags.
Well, thank you, David, so much. You've really
Thanks, babe.
provided us some great information
Thank you very much.
today. And to learn more about ways you can spot a scam, you can check out my website as well at notsoperfectparent.com and click on my blog. Pat?